So this week I wanted to focus a bit on technique and a bit on posture. So this is a theme that's been coming up in the past little while. So more posture for me. It's funny because my piano posture is actually pretty good. It's my desk posture, which is absolutely terrible. So that's what I have to work on. I've got this little apparatus that's been working on teaching my body to sit up properly. So I just want to take that opportunity to just review posture. So basically, you want your arms to be like 90 degrees-ish. So you don't want to be so low that you're like this. You don't want your wrists dropped, because that you're gonna pinch your nerves and your tendons and get carpal tunnel, and that's a mess. I have teacher friends and non-musician friends too who've had that surgery, and your hands are never quite the same. You don't want to be so high like this that your shoulders are up, because that creates unnecessary tension. So if only I would remember these pointers when I'm sitting at a regular desk. The thing is, and I can get the piano just right, pretty much. You can't touch the floor, then let me get my name out of the way there so you can see. So you want to be able to touch the floor. You don't want to sit all the way back on the bench or all the way up on the bench, somewhere in the middle. So that way, leg-wise, you can kind of have an active seating position. So you can spring forward. Sometimes we have these big boomy tush cords, so you want to have a firm footing, basically. Now, if you're short, because I remember those days, you might need to sit on some books. If your family still has the old yellow pages. I know they haven't existed in a while, but something that thick, that's what I used to sit on. Sometimes, if you can't touch the floor and you don't have a footstool, books work as well. All right, so there were a few other things, technique and posture-wise, I wanted to go over. Oh, yes. So this was one of the first warm-ups I learned. So let's just review this. So those of you who are taking lessons, you've heard it from your teachers. You want a nice curve. So one of my teacher friends, Katrina Thompson-Foss, she had that's the idea of holding a water bottle like that with your fingertips gently. That's the ideal curve. You can do that with a squishy ball as well. And a lot of the beginner books have making O's. The main thing, if you're taking lessons and you've heard your teacher, or I've harped on it, the main thing is to curve that first joint. So you want to curve it, you don't want to bend it like that. And you want curved fingers, because if you look at it, our fingers are all different lengths, right? But once you curve, they're all hitting the keys at the same time. And it's a nice relaxed posture. I've been telling students, if you play flat-fingered, it's like belly flopping on the keys. So it's not a pleasant sound. Belly flopping in the pool isn't a pleasant sound either. So the other thing I wanted to go over was, yes, my very first warm-up. Because every now and again, it's good to go through this very first warm-up. I'm just going to call up the overhead camera here. So I've been calling it the 5-finger push-up. So you hold all the notes down, and you have to play each note while keeping the others down. gets harder, and then come back down again. So I like reviewing that every now and again, and I've got a few beginners where we'll have to work on that, and a few intermediate students who've gone a little too flat, so we're going to have to rein it in a little bit and curve. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else posture-wise that I wanted to cover today. Oh yes, there's one thing, because I do have a student who's she's injured her arm, and then last week, and that's part of the reason why I actually took the weekend off practicing, I did get a little case of tendonitis brought on by poor desk posture, working at the computer. So the best thing really is to rest in that case. Ice and an anti-inflammatory medication like ibuprofen is also good to take, but ice and rest really. So, and then in the case of my student, she's injured her shoulder, so she can't use it. So we've had to come up with different techniques to practice. So she's been doing a lot of right-handed stuff and actually getting the right hand to play the chords and the melody at the same time. We've also played around with having her right hand play the left hand part. That's something that I was playing around with when I injured my finger last year. So I needed stitches, I had cut a nerve. So there was a good 3 weeks where I couldn't use this hand. So I was doing everything all with the right hand. So, I mean, there's means and ways. If you've sprained a finger, you still have one working hand. You can also score study. So that's studying your music. You can tap out your rhythms. There's ways to practice. So that's going to be another kit and caboodle there. But I guess the main thing is be very mindful if you've have an injury from something else, or you know, something's hurting from piano. If you're my student, let's talk about it. If you're not my student, talk about it with your teacher, because sometimes you have to make adjustments to your practicing, to your technique, to how to play a section, because it's really not worth permanently damaging your hands. What else? Final point would be to stretch. So I've been doing my stretches today because I've been, again, trying to work on my posture. So haven't done this since this morning though, stretching the flexors and the extensors. Just trying to think if there's any final points about posture. So yeah, basically sitting straight, that's all level. You want to be able to, this will come up with the practicing, you want to be able to move across the keys and in and out. So don't just leave all the work to your hands. Your hands and your arms are only so strong. Your legs and your core are much stronger. So utilize that. And man, is this sounding like my martial arts class. Core muscles are the key to everything. Okay, so I think that's all I wanted to cover as far as posture goes.